Benny Boom, director of All Eyez On Me, is in the building today.
Big sis, what's up?
Wow, it's here finally.
Man,
Benny, I've been hearing about this movie for my whole life.
I know, right? And living a lot of it.
Yeah, I lived some
as
of it.
we put in the movie.
But I heard I made the movie. We're gonna talk about all that today.
Yeah.
But you must be so excited that we're here.
I'm excited, and I'm excited for other people. Really.
What do you mean?
I'm just excited for the people to see the movie.
Oh,
at
right.
this point, because I've been with it.
You've seen
since,
it how many times?
Man, a bunch of different times, a bunch of different versions, and everything. So I'm just excited.
How much weight is that on you? Do you feel it still, or you've already come to terms with the pressure?
I mean, it's like the movie's done, and now we just want, really, like, not for selfish reasons. We want everybody to see it for two reasons. Because it's a great movie, and I think it does Pac's legacy the way it should be.
Right.
And the other thing is, for hip hop, we need to always raise the bar, especially when it comes to movies about hip hop and our culture. We have to keep the bar going.
We have to,
right?
Because
right.
one doesn't do well, then the next three don't get made.
They don't get. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So
yeah.
Compton was amazing, and it did great numbers, and we want the same for Pac and better numbers, because we want Hollywood to understand that it wasn't not a one hit thing. You know what I mean? Right.
Because before Straight Outta Compton, was there a movie that hit that big?
Not that big. Not a hip hop movie. I mean,
Right.
Notorious, I think, did 22 million the opening weekend.
That's pretty good.
That's good, but Compton is 60 million.
Jeez.
So, you know what I mean? So, we have to be in that number
that
range.
space.
Yeah, we want to be in that space. So.
Wow. So I can't even imagine. So we're going to go back and come forward day. I can't imagine. First of all, I know Benny for
ever. Oh, God.
when you were doing like Channel Live videos.
Yeah. And in Channel Live, and the whole thing.
Channel Live. Oh, my
On
God.
the album, everything.
I erased that from my memory. I forgot that.
I got verses. I had bars.
You got bars.
Yep. Yeah.
So you're not like some new guy, some Hollywood guy that they got to come make this movie.
No.
You are a hip hop head.
Breathing it, living it.
That just happens to be a film director
That's
as
right.
well.
That's right. That's right.
So it matters to you.
It does. It really matters. It's my life. Without hip hop, I don't know what I would be doing in life.
Yeah.
It's just everything.
Good for you, man. So you get the call. Is it a call? How does it happen?
It was a call. So me and LT Hutton had been talking. We were actually developing the BMF project as a movie.
Oh, another one.
Yeah.
Are you working on that with Fifth or no?
No.
Okay.
Me and LT were working on that separately as a feature film.
Got it.
And so we working on that, and then over the years, the thought was to do Tupac, and then right after Tupac, do BMF.
Mm.
So this is when he had other directors on board, and so different directors was like falling off from the project.
Right.
And so each time they would fall off, I'd be talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah," he said, "Oh man, I had to get rid of this, and I'm, and now I got this." He said, "Man, I really wish I could just bring you on this project." I was like, "Well, look,
why
if it's meant to be, well, because you had producers and the people that were paying for the movie had their own ideas of what they wanted." Right. So I understand it's the process. So I said, "Look, man, if you need me in any capacity," I was like, "This is Pac, so if you need me in any capacity as an associate producer or whatever, I'm there. Just let me know." Mm. So he got down to the director before the last one, which everybody thought was like the great decision and the whole thing, and then that didn't pan out. Yeah, John. That really didn't pan out that well for a lot of other reasons. And so,
what was that? I know there was some stories.
There's a lot of stories, yeah. But the thing is, it didn't see eye to eye on the story and what the story should be.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that happens in Hollywood a lot of times with a lot of movies.
Yikes.
You'll get a movie and it's like 4 or 5 directors have been on it, and then the one that made the movie is the only one that people know. But this film has been under such a microscope for so long that every little thing about the movie is just is watched over. So then the last director was Carl Franklin, and Carl's amazing director. He did Devil in a Blue Dress, movies like that. But the difference was he's not really from the culture like this.
Right.
He's older, and so the take on it was different than what the producers and what LT wanted. Right.
So in comes Benny Boom.
In comes Benny Boom a night before Thanksgiving.
Benny Boom from New York.
From New York, right?
Were you did you know Pac at all? Did you?
What's crazy? I did not. I never met Pac, and I've been running. You see me around here for years at all the clubs, the Nels and the Octagons and Chaz and Wilson's, Sharp Bars, and everywhere Pac was. But I never met him.
Wow.
I never met him, which was crazy. But it's funny.
Did you have like a notion though, like a preconceived notion of who he was, or did you have feelings about him?
Oh yeah. I already. I used to watch because I grew up in Philly originally.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
See, that's great. Everybody here, everybody in New York thinks I'm from Brooklyn.
New York, so
right.
I don't know you before when you was there.
So no, I grew up in Philly. Went to the same high school as Will Smith and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we they had this thing called the box, which was they had it here in New York too, where you call and you could see the video.
Yes.
So in Philly, I think it was regional too, because all of the like 3 Times Dope and Steady Beat, all that stuff would play for us, and Digital Underground used to play a lot in Philly. So when Same Song came out, was the first time everybody saw Pac. And I had never heard the song before I saw the video. And I remember the first time I saw the video, I got home from school and I watched it and I went, yo, who is this kid? Like, is he a new Digital Underground member? And it I remember just being captivated, just the African garb, and X-Clan was out at the time, and Public Enemy. So he just sort of fit right in the mold of what was to come. And from there, it was like, he came out and Brenda's got a baby, and it was different because he had something to say.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of music back then people had something to say.
Yeah, but he was really strategic and
very
really
strategic
sharp
and honest
about it
and direct. And so always was a fan, but always questioned why he got into trouble so much. You know what I mean? Like, just like you'd hear about him getting arrested or thing with a limousine driver or this. You're like, yo, why homeboy keep getting locked up? Like, what's going on with him? You didn't know. And I didn't know at that time in the early 90s, I didn't know all the Black Panther stuff.
Right.
We just knew him as an artist. So it was, on the surface, you see his struggle with trying to stay out of trouble, but then you hear the records and it was so deep, so it was like, man, what's going on?
You probably learned so much about, I mean, I would imagine.
I did. Making the movie and the research, because I had to go deeper than the surface.
The script, right?
Yeah,
even
I had
past
to go a lot deeper, way past it, just to make sure the nuances were right and make sure that, if I felt like we weren't telling the right story, let me turn to the producer and say, hey, this don't feel quite right.
This ain't right.
Yeah.
It's too much pressure, man.
There's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure because he's such a beloved, you know what I mean? He's the only Pac. You know what I'm saying? It's
you
Pac.
only get one.
You only get one Pac. And when people are like, yo, that's the next Pac, I'm like, nobody's ever going to be the next Pac. That's it. You only get one of those.
No, that's it.
That's a one-on-one right
it
there.
It is.
So yeah, so then you cast, then you start to casting, right?
And we cast.
How do you pick this guy?
So Demetrius is somebody who LT walked into LT's office a couple of years ago, and his father was a producer at Death Row with LT. And so he called him. He said, yo, I got something I want you to see. And he said, have you seen my son in a while? He's like, no. He said, all right, come into the office. So LT's assistant comes in the office and says, Tupac's in the lobby. And he was like, stop playing. She was like, no, I don't even know how else to tell you this, but Tupac is standing in the lobby. And he ran out,
oh, my God.
And he sees he sees Demetrius, and he's the bandana and the whole thing.
He came in Tupac. He came in.
Reddish hair shade.
That's what Pac would have done, by the way.
Exactly. Came right up in it. So at that point, I remember him telling me, he said, man, I just found this kid. Man, this kid looked just like Pac. I said, you sure? He said, man, trust me. I wasn't even involved in the movie at the time. I was just talking to him about this stuff. And so he, fast forward to me being on the picture, I don't think Carl was locked into Demetrius.
Got it.
Right. He wanted to see other people. So LT sent me a photo. And he said, I said, man, when you took this picture of Pac? He said, this ain't Pac. I was like, what? I said, nah, you playing. He said, this is not Tupac. This is the kid, Demetrius, that I want you to see the auditions for to play Tupac.
Was he good in the auditions?
Incredible. Because it was him auditioning, and then it was also him doing what they call chemistry reads with the actresses, different actresses that were brought in to play Kadada and Jada. So I got a chance to see him like 8 different times, on audition tapes, and each time was great. And it was like,
so do you have to bring Kadada and Jada in also to get there?
It's funny because sometimes when you do biopics, because they're public figures, it's a way that even like with you, for example, right? Like it was, you knew we were making a movie, and it's like, we know Angie, oh man, I'm gonna call Angie and get, you know what I mean? And this is the girl, but then it gets so convoluted. Like it's a lot of pressure.
Their own story.
Right, but it's a lot of pressure on the person who it is. Like it'd be a lot of pressure for me to send you all these photos and all these auditions of the different girls to play you. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I'd have been into it. You should have hit me, Betty. You should have hit me. I was dying to talk to you while you were making this movie. There was so much I wanted to, but I understood also that even though I was like so eager to get you because I had my stories that I wanted to share with you. Yeah. I'm sure you were getting that from every direction.
I got a call from Shakim the day that it was announced that I was doing a movie. He called me. He's like, "Yo," he said, "I just read this. What's up? This real?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yo, man." He said, he said, we knew that boy as best as anybody. He was on tour with us, and I said, I know, with Latifah and Tretch and all.
He got 100 million stories.
What? A whole bunch. He said, so any information you need, just call me. He said, I'll get on the phone with you. Dana, Latifah, she'll get on the phone with you. If you missing any part of that part of his life, we got the answers to that. And I got that call from a lot of different people. And I'm talking about, like, people who, like
outlaws and
outlaws, but like the real Brooklynites that were like in and around Pac at the time of like the quad shooting and all. Like we got I got like phone calls like, yo, boom, what's up? You
found out anything that people don't know?
Oh yeah, but we couldn't put it all in the movie.
This might sound crude to ask, but like, do you think at this point like who took his life?
I don't know. You know what's crazy? One thing what we wanted to make sure we did not do in the movie is try to relitigate anything that was in his life, or try to solve any mysteries. The movie is from Pac's point of view, and so let me give you a perfect example. So, saw the film. This was he saw an early version of the film, and so he spoke to me, and we talked.
Was Biggie's manager.
Right, and so good friend of mine, and so he had his view of how Quad happened because he was there. So what I said to him was, I said, well, look at it from Pac's perspective. He did not know that y'all was coming down there to rescue him. He's in another elevator. How's he going to know that? You know what I mean? How does he know if he's in elevator A that you're in elevator B coming downstairs to make sure he's good? And he's just been shot 5 times. So when he goes upstairs and he's incoherent, and then he becomes coherent as the blur is gone, and then he sees you guys. That's the story we tell.
That's his perspective.
And so.
And how did you get that? Just from interviews?
These are from interviews. So we have what's called the Tupac Bible. So I got the script along with the Bible. And let me tell you, so the Tupac Bible is about this big.
I want to read that.
And what it has is everything that's in the script, there's a footnote for it to where to go to in the Tupac Bible to find out where that reference came from or where that dialogue, because there's things lifted directly from things that Pac said that are in the dialogue of the movie, and that comes straight from the Tupac Bible. So if it's a question of him talking about what happened at Quad, it's lifted directly from something he said. So that's how we're able to make the film without I would say apologies to anything, because we're speaking his voice in it.
Wow. You know what I thought was interesting? I read this the other day that and it was 2 parts. I heard that Puff is like really liked the movie, and also that Suge, who hasn't seen the movie because he's locked up, but I guess his people or his representatives have seen the movie.
Yeah, so LT worked for Suge at Death Row. He was a producer at Death Row. That's how him and Pac forged a relationship. Because he produced for Pac and all that stuff.
Got it.
And several people from Death Row have seen it. I mean, there's guys that were in the caravan of cars the night that Pac was killed that have seen the film and have been they've been in tears. And I mean, Busta's seen the film and then Puff saw it. And it's interesting because, in order to, and people the people don't understand how hard it is to get a movie made and what you have to do when you're dealing with a movie about Tupac. There's so many different pieces that have to. I can only imagine. Yeah. So because we want to tell the story the right way and the true way, we have to have no Big's got to be in the movie. They were friends, and a lot of what transpired was around their friendship.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the fact that there were songs made from each camp. One could be construed as a song dissing Pac, but the other one, Pac, we know did songs dissing them. So if there's music in the movie that we need, and these are songs that Bad Boy and Puffy control and maintain.
Did they clear?
And they cleared it.
Yeah.
And they cleared it because
it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do, and also because after seeing the movie, he understands.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we didn't point fingers at people, and we didn't make anybody try to make people look bad. Because
I was gonna say, what an interesting line you must have had to walk to the fact that Puff saw it and liked the movie, and Suge is like, okay.
I know it's great but that should tell people
they're agreeing now.
Right,
You know
right. Like, hello, we could have got this. Like,
we
did people have to pass away for this to happen?
No, it's just crazy.
No,
but it's a testament that you must have done a good job for both parties.
Yeah.
To feel like that.
To feel that good, yeah.
And dope that Puff cleared all that music.
Yeah, it wasn't an issue. It wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
And at the same time, a lot of people that know my career know that Puff helped me crazily in the beginning of my career. He was a big force and a big reason why I was able to do some of the bigger videos I've done. So from that perspective, he was supportive, of course, because in his eyes it's like, okay, here's and he'll tell it. I'm not saying it. Here's another director that I put on. You know what I'm saying? Along with hype and all. Yeah, right. So doing big things.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
This is really exciting. Oh wait, so then we met the girl who plays me in the movie.
Yeah, you met her?
She came up here.
You interview her?
We brought her up here
That's
last week to say hi.
up.
But I haven't seen her, and I haven't seen.
You didn't see her, but you didn't meet her?
I mean, I didn't see the movie, so I don't know what she's doing.
Okay.
I know it's a little part, right?
It's a small part, but it's important. It is a very important part in the movie.
Okay.
It's
when
very important.
I interview Snoop, and Snoop says he would do a song with Big.
Yes.
He's got no beef.
He said, I got no beef with them. I love Puff and Big. They my homeboys, and that's ticks Pac off.
Yes.
And
so that whole thing that happens, because I know what happened in real life. So it's all that's in the movie.
A lot of it.
The airplane. No, okay. Don't tell me.
The plane, boss. Yes.
The plane is there. The plane is
part
there.
of the movie.
I can't wait to see this movie.
I tell you, we tell the story. Listen, we tell the stories that were really important, and that piece that was September 4th, I think.
Yeah, sounds right.
So or 5th maybe, because it was after MTV. It was after the awards. So
it must have been right the next day.
Like the next day.
Yeah.
So that 2 or 3 days is like the last act of the movie, and it's the point where you go, damn, do you got to go to Vegas? You know what I'm saying? Do you got to go?
Yeah.
And then, okay, you went to Vegas. Do you have to get in that fight? Like you ask as an audience member, you ask all those questions. The Titanic. The Titanic hits the iceberg, but it's the story behind the life of those people that is compelling. Same thing here.
Yeah.
You know what happens, the tragedy that happens, but it's Pac's life that is so compelling that you want to reach out and grab the screen and go, don't do this.
Did his mother get to see it before she passed?
She didn't. We wanted to get it into a place, like a real place, before we took it up to see her. Took it to her to see it, but she passed. That was a hard call to get in that morning. I got that call, and I was like, what? Had
you met her and spoken to her?
I know. I met Afeni. I'm probably the only other person that filmed her in a video besides Dear Mama. I did a video called Play Your Cards Right with Keisha Cole.
You did the Dear Mama video?
No. I'm saying Dear Mama.
They had her in it.
Right, but the only other video that I can think of that she was in was the video that I directed was Play Your Cards Right for Keisha Cole. Because, Pac signed Keisha when she was like 14 years old. Because MC Hammer found Keisha.
Wow.
In Oakland. Right? Brought her to Pac, and then Pac signed her and was about to cut records on her. She had to be 14 or 15. She was young.
Wow.
When all of this happened. And so we did a video called Play Your Cards Right, and it's Tupac and Keisha Cole, and we shot Afeni's part in Atlanta. And I talked to her.
What did she do? I don't
time.
remember this video. I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, when you get a chance, it's called Play Your Cards Right. She's sitting there. She's sitting there. There's candles around her. Pac's picture around. It's a very emotional, slow song. It's a very emotional song, and it's deep. Everybody's in the video. Setch is in the video. Edie, like their whole family, Mo Preem, they're all in the video.
Wow, but she was supportive of the project.
Yes,
right?
she was definitely.
And was there anybody else from the family there? Because I would think that's a whole other perspective.
It was
right?
a whole other perspective. You know who was there with us? Who a lot of people don't know. Edie is Pac's brother-in-law, because Edie from the Outlaws.
Got it.
Yeah,
Edie Amin.
Edie Amin.
Yeah.
Yes, him and Setch have a child together, a son together.
Got it.
Pac's sister. So he was there, and it was a lot of blanks filled in from Edie, like really, really, really deep nuances, that was filled in. And we were like, oh, snap, really? And he's like, yeah. He said, like we would be doing a scene and he would go, he would say, the way that Pac and Setch used to talk to each other, or the way that Mr. Shakur would talk to the two, like just little things that he would give us. Even Mutulu called. I got on the phone with Mutulu Shakur. We were shooting. I think we were shooting. It was like the 5th day of shooting. And the brother came from New York and came to the set. And said, yo, we're going to get you on the phone with Mutulu. And I said, cool, set the call. So got on the phone with him. He called, and he didn't have a long time to talk, but he got on the phone, and he said, man, I'm just grateful. He said, I know you know my people. And I said, yeah, he said, man, I'm just glad you're doing it. And I just want to say thank you for doing this, for Shorty. And then I said, got off the phone. I said, Shorty? He said, yeah, that's what he used to call Pac, was Shorty. And it was just so like,
inside.
It was so inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his dad for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Thanking me for getting the movie made, wishing that he could be out and be a part of it, or another person in the family wishing they could fill in the blanks. You know what I mean? So it was deep. Yeah. I think after the movie, after people see this movie, there will be some clarity to the situation.
Some of the mistakes?
Some of the mistakes. Well, the film is really a cautionary tale, because in the trailer, I'm trying to think, do we have, in the trailer, we got a couple different ones, but there's one part of the trailer when the actor Clifton Powell, Pac is in prison, and he says to him, don't let something you do for 50 seconds get you 50 years. And there's jewels like that we have in the movie that we have specifically for this new generation of youth that think that violence is always the immediate answer to things, or that every problem is solved with a gun, as opposed, and with a gun, and to have it on Facebook and Instagram and all this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as much as people,
you want to drop some jewels in.
We want to drop jewels, and people love Pac and love the quote unquote thug life and the maverick and the rogue and the rebel and the soldier and the whole thing, but that life will get you killed, and that's one thing that we want to make sure people understand. Pac was 25 years old.
It's crazy.
And it's like, we scratched the surface of what he was able to really do. I mean, Jay is 47, something like that. Now imagine, look at what Jay has accomplished, right? And what Pac would have definitely been a politician of sort. We don't know what. I mean, you got Black Lives Matter and all stuff. Yeah. He would have had his own movement way back.
I firmly believe that if Pac was, if his trajectory continued in the way that it was, that Donald Trump wouldn't be in the White House.
Oh, no, he wouldn't be in the White House. Yeah. And also, every time things come up, and there's no disrespect to Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, but they're always the ones that get the phone call. But they're not from our generation. So they'll get the phone call, but they're so detached. They're not even in, like Trayvon Martin's family, they're my age or our age or younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Sharpton ain't that, but imagine if Pac was alive and Trayvon Martin is killed. You calling Tupac. He coming down there.
He just would have mobilized people.
He would have mobilized
and he would have
folks.
reminded us of certain, you know what I mean?
Because he would have matured, and we didn't get the maturation of Tupac Shakur, unfortunately. We didn't see what he was able to grow into and what he could have been.
Word. But we could see his life on the big screen.
We could see it. Yes.
I'm so happy for you, man. And it did. And I know Snoop saw, I guess, an early cut, right?
Snoop has seen a few different versions.
Okay.
Yeah,
but Snoop really put the stamp in the cosign, which is a big cosign to get.
Big cosign. Daz. I sat next to Daz at one of these last screenings in L.A. and As my man, I'm gonna put him on blast a little bit. We sat there and I looked over at the end, and it's a little. I said, "Go ahead, man."
He was a little choked up.
Yeah, I said, "Go ahead, bro. You can cry. It's all right." He's like, "Man, y'all." He said, "I'm looking at my life all over again." Money B was really in tears. Buster. Now people don't really understand. Here's the thing about Pac. He was connected to so many different MCs, like Buckshot. You know what I mean? Like, that was his man. Buster was his man. We have a record from Lords of the Underground in the movie. So I had a long conversation with Do It All. And the record made its way into the movie because it was big at the time. Chief Rocker was a big record at the time of when this scene takes place. So when I talked to Do, he was like, yo, he said, man, do you know how close he was to Pac? I said, nah, I didn't even really know. He sent me all these photos and all this. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. He said, man, Pac, that we was tight with Pac. Like, he used to be in Jersey with us all the time.
No, he was in Jersey a lot.
He said he introduced him to Noble and all those guys to Fatal and all those guys from Jersey. So I said, I didn't even know that. But this is the thing with this movie, things like that happen. Like, all the songs that we could have picked or could have picked to put in the movie for that scene, Chief Rocker came to mind and it's in there. And then to have the conversation with Dude afterwards, it was like, I didn't even know that. It's like Pac is like sort of orchestrating all of these things.
You feel like that?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Like, and I'm not, the day we shot the scene with the concert scene that you see in the movie, it was one of the concert scene that's in the movie. It's in the trailer. The big concert scene where he has the shirt off and he's performing. It was an incredible day because we didn't introduce him to the audience, to the extras beforehand. And I went out on stage and me and LT went out on stage and said, look, we know this is a movie, but we want y'all turned up. We don't want this to be, y'all not in a movie. You guys are in a show. And Tupac is about to come out here on stage. So the cameras start rolling and stuff and happen. And he comes out and you see girls crying. Like, they couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it.
Wow.
We couldn't believe it. We was like, it's one thing to organize it and talk through it and talk to the actors, do it, but then when you see it and then see how it affects other people, it was a whole nother feeling.
That's crazy.
Whole nother feeling.
And you redid all of it. You didn't use his lyrics his voice in the movie, right?
Yeah, we did a combination of his voice and
got it.
Yeah,
and you mix it together.
A nice audio mix that you could still feel it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think the movie's gonna do incredible.
We hope so.
I hope so too.
We hope so. Pac deserves it.
He totally deserves it. I totally agree. Do you have your eye on the next one yet?
I don't know.
Would you do another?
I would do another one, but I just hope it, it's not as complex.
Something with less pressure.
Yeah, I want to do something easy, man. Like,
something fun.
Something fun, but no, I like pressure. I just think that the pressure was the importance that I put on the movie as well, just because I know how important it is to our people and our community and hip hop culture that it just has to be done right. It has to be done right. We don't want to be the ones that mess up the Tupac movie. So that was our mission statement for myself, LT, all the actors, every actor that came on, no matter what role they played. Like even with your role, I said, listen, I know Ange, don't mess this up because I'm telling you, you will get dragged. I told her.
Did she do good? I couldn't tell when she was here.
She did good. Let me tell you, everybody that knows you, that's seen the movie, was like, yo, she had Ange down pat.
You think so? Okay, we're going to see. You're not going to be the hardest critic.
Ange's going to watch the whole movie, and then her part, it's like this.
I'm glad you included me. I'm happy to be a part.
You have to be. What you've done for us is you just can't measure it. You know what I mean? Like, you've been the voice for us for so long. And the person, no matter what has happened, people say, I got to go sit down with Ange. At any point, if somebody got beef with somebody, they're going to come here to you and talk about it because they know at the end of the day, you're honest. You can talk about it and everybody's going to listen. And whatever they got to say, you'll be able to get it out. So that's, man, you've been...
Thank you, man. I was happy when they told me that. I was like, oh, good. They put that piece. Because I was in that moment. I remember what a big time, what was happening in New York was a big moment. So I'm glad that was, I'm glad that was included.
And you spoke honesty. You know, you always, if people were wrong, you would tell them they wrong. Like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't
like,
that crazy when you think back?
Yeah,
but
you would be like, yo, that's
mad.
not, but you sure? Like, you know, you would get on them and have them rethink their responsibility.
Their position.
Of course.
Their position.
Of course, yeah.
It's crazy when I think about that now.
Yeah, but that was, and for real, like, and just like what other woman was doing that too. You know what I mean? Keep that in mind. Like, there was no other women in radio doing like that, in hip hop, hardcore hip hop rappers, and coming up here, and you know, and all the guard is let down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't going on. So you know, you deserve props.
It was a good time. Thank you, my love. Thank you. I can't wait to see it. So he told me my part is at the end, so I'll be waiting for that part.
It's third act. Your part's in the third act. It's very
act.
close to the end, yeah.
And everybody can get to see the movie this Friday. It's finally here.
Yes.
And then what is your dream for? Like, is this gonna be? I don't know. What is your hope for the movie?
What I hope that I first hope that everybody loves it, and I hope that you know, we make. I hope for, like I said earlier, 2 reasons we make history at the box office, because we want to make, you know, send this message to Hollywood that, you know, you could have a Disney movie out and you can have a hip hop movie out, and we fare just as well at the same weekend. It's summertime, so kids should be, you know, the youth should be ready to go to the movies. The other thing is, I just hope that all of the actors, because we have a lot of actors in here who some people know a little bit about, but they haven't really seen them or know them as household names, and everybody did exceptionally well. So I really want them to be able to propel from this, and this movie be the launching pad, or the relaunch, I should say, for some of these people, so you can see it and be like, oh, that's Kat Graham from, you know, Vampire Diaries to play Jada. Oh man, I can't wait to see what else she's in, or in her next project. Do you
get into that for like romance a lot?
Yeah, we get into everything. Yeah. The friendship, because you know they've always maintained the friendship, so we're not in our movie retelling people, like trying to, you know what I'm saying, like, no.
You're not trying to out people for anything.
No,
like
not at all.
Retell their story differently, right?
No, the way that they tell it is the way that we tell it.
That's dope. That's good.
Yeah.
My hope for the movie is that it introduces like a whole new generation, or it's just like reintroduces.
Yeah.
Because you know by now Pac is like, you know, he's like this big, just like thing that's like beyond the nuances and the details, and
you can't grab. It's like, you know, I had a conversation with somebody, and I said, if this still happened, when I was a kid, you would go to somebody's house, usually a grandmother or an aunt or something, and there was 3 pictures on the wall. There was a picture of JFK. There was a picture of white Jesus, and then it was, you know what I'm saying, and then it was a picture of Martin Luther King. Those 3 people would be on the wall, and that was our generation of things. That hierarchy, that pantheon changed. You know what I mean? It's big and Pac. You know what I'm saying? It's like the people that we grew up with. So there's a generation of people that don't know how important they were and what them being taken away from us means. You know what I mean? So it's like we want to honor Pac with this movie and have people walk out of there with a newfound respect, and also we humanize Tupac in this movie and take away the mythology, because you could feel him more and personalize him more when it's not just an image or a guy with tattoos or a bald head and bandana. No, it's a real man who was complex for sure, but the heart was in the right place, and he had something to say, and he was going to stand up for his and stand up for other people. So that's what we really want people to walk away from.
Dope. Well, congratulations, my love. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, man.
Can't wait to see the movie Friday. It is in theaters. What time? Benny Boom. All Eyez On Me.